Hello, Genesis Dad here. Today I'm making an interesting video. I want to make a video about talking about how we're not invincible. And to be honest with you, I probably felt I was invincible until the age of about 23, 24. But I had occurrences that came along that made me realize that, you know what, you're not invincible. And I took those views for granted. And I'm very fortunate to be here today because I had many situations where I could have lost my life. The first one was when I was 12 years old. Your grandpa bought me a dirt bike, and there was one time I went riding with my friend in the neighborhood, and he was using my pocket rocket, and he just decided to go in front of me and just stop. And I ended up running into him. He broke his leg. I broke my wrist. I was on the side of the road when I woke up, and all I heard was him crying, and I had scabs all over my body. And then I went to the doctor. I was wearing a bicycle helmet at the time. Went to the doctor. The doctor's like showing me this huge gauge because they never took off. I don't even think they told me to bring the helmet. So I brought the helmet, and they saw this big gauge or gash on the front of the helmet, and they said that would have been the end of you. There was other times where there was a situation where I was on my motorcycle that I almost died. There was a situation where I was in a car that I almost died. And very fortunately, I pulled through. But it took me a while to realize that, number one, our life is very valuable. Number two, tomorrow is never promised. And three, you just have to take care of yourself and really appreciate the life that you have, realizing that you can be hit by a car, anything can happen that could end your life, which, like I said, is just so valuable. So be cautious of what you do before you do it, and ask yourself, is this a good idea? Because there's times where I was on motorcycles going 170 miles an hour. There's time I was in a car going 170 miles an hour. It wasn't worth it. For that minute of thrill, it wasn't worth it. Not only did I put my life in danger, I could have put other lives in danger, even though there was nobody else on the road at that time. But with regards with my friend, I put his life in danger, even though it was kind of his fault. But it was also my fault for even letting him use it. And then the almost accident with the car, the brakes just stopped working, and I almost died that day, or almost got into a bad accident. So I had to pull out, and luckily there was no cars, because if there was cars, it would have ran right into them, and no one knows what would have happened from there. So always think before you do things, Genesis. Always ask yourself, is this something that could risk my life, and is it worth it? So just be cautious. Realize that you only have one life. You don't have the 9 lives like a cat that they say, even though it's really not 9 lives, but the saying of 9 lives. And it could all be gone. So cherish it. Cherish it. Love it. Appreciate it. And I got you, Genesis. If you have any questions in the future, I got you. I'll see you in the next one.